Okay, y'all. Do you know what time it is? Hammer time. No, I'm just kidding. It's tomato starting day, and I am super excited about it. This is one of my favorite days out of the entire year, apart from when the tomatoes actually start growing so that I can harvest them and put them in my belly. But other than that, tomato starting season is like, it is the one. It is the time. And that time is today. So I'm just coming out here to my greenhouse because it is like, my cats have decided that the greenhouse is their home. Can't say I blame them. I got little Henry. Every time I come outside, he comes meowing out of the greenhouse. He's just so cute. He's my only orange cat left. Right now, we technically have 4 cats. We have Henry, we have Mittens, who's the other boy, and we have Fiona, who's our only female cat. And then we have Bacardi, who was left over from the other cats that we got when we first moved here. The other 3, one of them definitely died. We found her body. It seemed like it was possibly natural causes. And then the other 2 boy cats just disappeared. But then we've also got Pepper, who's been adopted, but she's still quite feral. She'll let us pet him when she feels like it. But generally speaking, she just lives in the barn behind there. So she's like a true barn cat. And then we have several of the neighbors' cats. Like our cats just kind of intermingle. Like our cats are down there all the time. Their cats are up here all the time. But between all of us, we have quite a gaggle of cats. So anyways, oh, I'm sorry. He stepped on his little paw. So I forgot where I was going with that. I do not remember. Crap. Okay, so anyways, I guess if I don't remember what it was, I don't need to say it. But it is definitely time to fill up our trays. I'm going to use up 3 of these bad boys here. I have already sorted through all of the seeds that I'm planning to make. I have already made tags for each individual cell because I found last year it was a really big pain in the butt that I only marked 1 of each variety. Only with the tomatoes. The tomatoes and to some degree the peppers as well. But at any rate, I want to make sure that I'm marking each of these. I am making, clearly, that is like 246, 280 something. What is that? Yeah, 286 tomatoes. I'm obviously not going to grow that many, but I've not had really good luck with germination rate this year, and I want to make sure that I get what I need to get. And then any leftovers I can just sell or give away to friends, you know, stuff like that. Because I am going to be selling at the farmer's market for the first, like, couple months this year. Starting, I believe, in April. What? Why do you always need something? I'm going to be selling at the farmer's market for at least the first couple months. At the April farmer's market, I think it starts in April. So I can just sell any excess seedlings that I have after, you know, a couple friends or make sure they're taken care of and they got what they need. Then I can just sell them off at the farmer's market. So I'm not too worried about starting some extras. Mostly because I know I'm not going to be able to decide what I actually want to grow until I'm ready to put these things in the ground. And I will probably pick, you know, the strongest, the sturdiest, the most stout starts. Those will be the ones that go in the ground. I'm already holding him. I can't hold you at the same time. Anyways, I need to start these. I need to get these things filled up. My greenhouse is the only warm place on my homestead. Our weather yesterday was 85 degrees was the highest that I saw on the thermometer, but it was probably even higher than that. And then I woke up this morning, it was 22 degrees. So we had some hellacious windstorms yesterday. All through the night, a little bit today, but yesterday was definitely way worse. I don't remember why I was telling you this. But oh yes, that's what it was. Tonight is supposed to be the last frost in our foreseeable future. Likely not the last one total, but I do feel confident after tomorrow. As long as I'm home to be able to make sure that the greenhouse stays cool enough, I'm going to transfer my seedlings out here tomorrow. Because they're all cold weather seedlings, so it won't matter if it gets too cold overnight as long as it doesn't freeze like it did, like a hard frost like it did last night. I'm pretty confident. And plus, I'm home almost all the time, so if anything gets out of control out here, I can just bring them inside, or I can open it, I can close it, I can do what I need to do. I'm not worried about it. I'm still using the same seed starting mix that I've been using. It's 8 parts peat moss, 1 part vermiculite, 1 part perlite. And I just mix them all together, wet it down, and leave it be. And thankfully, I put a lid on it so these guys can't use it as a potty. that was a problem. Still nice and wet. So I got all 3 of the seed trays filled up, ready to start. Shouldn't take too terribly long. I do have one interesting thing that I'm going to try that's different this time around, starting the seeds. I'll tell you about that when we get inside. Right now, I'm kind of, if I didn't have to start tomato seeds, I would totally be out there. I don't know where it is. I can't see the screen. It's too bright. But I would totally love to be out there on the excavator digging up soil and moving it over here. My son and I got, the other day, we got a ton of the dirt kind of dug up. So it's like ready to access because the dirt that's over there. So I'm figuring that the reason that the soil over there is better than the soil that's over here is that that area over there had to have had trees. It was lightly forested over there, maybe even heavily forested. There is one gigantic tree root over there, but several also that are just large tree roots and a lot of small ones. So I think that just kind of over time, the organic matter that was over there has kind of stuck around, hasn't been washed down the hill or anything, and whereas over here has been cleared for many, many years. So I'm guessing it's not perfect soil by any means. There's still a ton of clay in there, but there are redeeming qualities to the soil that make us be able to use it once we filter out all of the giant rocks and boulders, tree branches. That was where I was going with that. It is very difficult to dig the soil up over there because there are so many tree roots, large and small. So you really have to work at it to dig it out. So kind of digging it out seems to be a smart move because then we can just put it in the truck really easily and bring it over here to where we actually need it. So let's go inside. I'm gonna get washed up and then I'm gonna share with you the varieties of tomatoes that I'm gonna be growing this year. Okay, let's see if we can get the lighting to work. Apparently I can't move my head. Maybe I'll just sit over here. How about that? Camera, take that. That didn't work. I have decided that maybe I should move my camera. I don't really have anywhere to move it to though. That's the problem. That's the problem I'm facing. You can peruse the titles of my books back there. How about that? I have decided on all of the seeds, the tomato seeds that I'm going to be starting, like I said, it is an astronomical amount of seeds. I am not going to worry about that because this is truly a restrained version. I'm not joking. I have a lot of seeds and I want to grow a lot of seeds. I want to grow a lot. So I have pared this down to the selection that I'm about to show you. Okay. So I've separated out. Each of these is one tray and I've already made up all the labels. Like I told you guys out in the greenhouse, I've made up a label for each cell because I found last year it was just frustrating to try and keep everything in a row. I lost track of so many different tomatoes. I didn't know what I was growing, and if I liked it, I couldn't figure out what it was if I want to regrow it. So this year I really want to keep track of the varieties that I enjoy, the varieties that do well versus the varieties that don't do well in my area so that I don't have this problem come next year, or, you know, probably try it for a couple of years. But if they just consistently don't perform very well, I don't care how cute they are in the picture, I'm not going to grow them because they don't grow. This first tray has 24 different varieties. I've separated them out into 3 different categories. We have tomatillos, slicers, and cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to be growing 3 of each of these types of seeds, and we're starting out with the tomatillos. We have just a purple tomatillo, purple Coban tomatillo. My fingers are still dirty. Purple Coban tomatillo, tomato verde, Dr. Wyche's yellow Amarilla tomato. I don't know how to pronounce that. A Chupon de Malinico. It's this one. I'm trying to read it backwards here. Pineapple tomatillo. I have found that this particular variety does not have very good germination rates, so I need to look inside of here. Yeah, I'm probably just going to finish off the packet and do multiple plantings in each cell just to give myself the best chance of getting something. And then just a green tomatillo. If you guys don't grow tomatillos normally, I would really encourage you to grow tomatillos. They are like the biggest bee magnet I have ever encountered ever in my growing experience. They produce, and they are so tasty. Last year, I finally had the first opportunity to taste these, and oh my gosh, they were so good. I've had them when they were, I honestly preferred them underripe. I like them where they're just kind of acidic. They almost taste like a grapefruit. It's like a sweet grapefruit, but apparently that's not how they're supposed to taste, but I'm sorry, that's my garden. I can grow what I want. I can harvest it whenever I want. But anyways, okay. So the cherry tomatoes, these ones I'm going to be growing just outside of my greenhouse here in kind of my upper garden area. A lot of people might call that like zone 1 or zone 0, but it's not for me because that slider is incredibly inconvenient to go in and out of. There's no real stairs. It's just obnoxious, so I don't like it. So I don't end up going up there as much as I would do my other garden over there that's really easy to access. It's larger, so I just tend to go there more often. But anyways, so we have a sun sugar tomato. This one is an indigo blueberries tomato. There's no picture on that one. A Sun Gold Select 2. Oh, getting them out of order here. Gotta keep them in order. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Blonde Comfichen? No idea. This, however, is a seed that that my dad grows or grew. I don't know if he still grows it, but this is the most prolific cherry tomato, and it is so sweet and so delicious. When my dad was growing this in his greenhouse, oh my gosh, it would put off these gigantic, I don't know what you even call them, just plumes and branches of cherry tomatoes. Each one of them had to have like 100 cherry tomatoes on it, and it just kept going and going and going until he snipped the top. It's my favorite cherry tomato to date. It is so good. So hopefully I can do it even half of the justice that he was able to do. We have a white cherry tomato, a very poorly named Isis candy cherry tomato, black cherry tomato. This one is up there for like top tier, one of my favorites, and a Napa cherry tomato. Are there seeds in here? This is really old. Yeah, there's enough in here. I grow this one because it's good, but it is insanely prolific. It's not my favorite, but it's easy to tell when it's done. It grows pretty large size cherries. I would say, you know, like the large marbles, not like the small ones. It's not quite a golf ball size, but I would say they're like the large marble size, and they're just heavily, heavily, heavily prolific. So I still have the seeds, so I'm gonna grow them until I don't. The last category that I'm putting in this particular tray are the slicer tomatoes. And we have a Brandywine red, Brandywine pink. I have 2 packets of those. So I'm just gonna use the oldest seeds, and then if I run out, then I'll have a backup. A big rainbow tomato, hillbilly tomato. Look at how pretty those are. They're just gorgeous. Most of the tomatoes that I grow are just because they're pretty. A Thorburns terracotta tomato, 2 different companies, but these are the mortgage lifters. Dr. Wychee's yellow tomato. We have the tomatillo, now we got the tomato, and a zoichka. I grew these ones in Washington. Very, very hardy plant. Incredibly sturdy. I have messed up the entire order of all of my tags. Gosh darn it. Oh well, I'm just getting ready to plant them anyway, so no big deal. Next up are the slicers and not the slicers. Next up is I'm doing a full tray of paste tomatoes and slicer tomatoes. So like half and half, sort of. I'm doing 4 each of the paste tomatoes and then 5 each of the sauce tomatoes because it wasn't an even number and I had to pick. So I figured the way I was thinking is that the sauce tomatoes are still good as eating tomatoes, so I'd rather have more of those than like the paste tomatoes that aren't really super great for fresh eating. So we have Quadro tomato. These are the paste tomatoes. Quadro tomato, Amish paste, very prolific one. Marino's Romano tomato, oh my gosh, Martino's Roma tomato, Sheboygan tomato. I literally grow this just because I like saying Sheboygan. Opolka tomato. I don't like saying Opolka tomato because it's weird. Federally. These tomatoes. Jersey Devil and San Marzano. Those ones I'm growing 4 of each. And then for the sauce tomatoes, we're growing 5 of each. We have Marglobe, Wisconsin 55, Arkansas Traveler, Trophy Tomato, Boxcar Willie. Oh, 2 Boxcar Willies. I have 3 packs of triple crop tomatoes, but I'm only growing 1 of them, but I just have backups. A green German pink tomato and an Ozark pink tomato. We got 1 more tray to go. Saved the best for last. At least I saved the prettiest for last. I just really like heirloom tomatoes. So we're growing an entire tray of heirloom tomatoes. So we got 3 of each of these because there's 24 varieties. And we got great white tomato. Looks green, but they call it white. A green zebra tomato. Amana tomato. Brandywine yellow. Don't even ask me why there's brandywine in the other one and then different colors in this one. I don't have an answer for you. Old German tomato. Pork chop tomato. I also just literally bought this because it was a pork chop tomato. Kellogg's breakfast tomato. We got 2 different companies there, just some backups. A Dr. Wychee yellow tomato. There's even literally this variety in the other packet, in the other one. Whatever. Orange Jazz tomato. These ones are all like fairly colorful ones. They're all just like this one, the pineapple tomato. I have a pineapple tomatillo and a pineapple tomato. So they're just the pretty ones. I don't know if they're all heirloom, but they're the pretty ones, in my opinion. Brandywine black Seaman tomato. I grow it because I think it's hilarious. Tomato Berkeley tie-dye green. And, oh, that's green. That's just a second backup. Oh my gosh. Okay, Cherokee purple. Black Crim, chocolate stripes tomato, black from Tula, a Berkeley tie-dye pink, the other one is green, Cosmic Eclipse tomato. These things are so gorgeous. Okay, good. I was afraid I didn't have enough in there. Ukrainian purple tomato. I hear these are also make a really nice, like a rich paste sauce tomato. So we'll give it a try. And we got a carbon tomato. How pretty is that? A Missouri pink love apple tomato. Ananas noir tomato. These ones I purchased because I saw the insides of these online. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've ever seen a more beautiful inside of a tomato in my life. I hope so. A Paul Robeson tomato. Dang, I got another one in there. And a Paul Robeson tomato. Wait, maybe that was the second one. Anyways, that concludes this portion of this video. Those are all the tomatoes. I'm just getting ready to start. Yes, I'm just going overboard. Yes, I do realize in previous videos I told y'all I was going to try and take it easy this year and not overwhelm myself. If you believed that, welcome to the Fermented Homestead. My name is Anna. Clearly we haven't met before. Anyways, I'm going to go pour myself a cup of coffee, spend the next little while starting some seeds. Oh, I almost forgot. The thing that I'm going to try differently with these, I have had big problems in my seed starting room. It's behind that wall, but it's through that door. But at any rate, I've had issues with mold this year. And I was on my friend Constance's live stream. She's over at cosmopolitan cornbread, and somebody had mentioned that they were struggling with that in the live chat, and she suggested using Ceylon cinnamon as a dusting on top. Apparently it's an antifungal. So just a light dusting is apparently enough to inhibit the growth of the fungus that can grow on there. I don't know if it'll help with mold. Mold's a fungus, right? I don't know. I'm not a biologist. But anyways, we'll find out. So I'm going to sprinkle the top with, I already sprinkle it with vermiculite to help with moisture retention, and it's supposed to also help with that, but I don't find that it does. So we're going to try the Ceylon cinnamon. I have some Ceylon cinnamon. It has to be specifically the Ceylon cinnamon because that particular type of cinnamon is antifungal. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll bring you back and show you my very overflowed seed room, because we're waiting. Tomorrow we should be able to put all the cold weather starts outside and just have room inside for the stuff that needs a little bit of warmth all the time, especially overnight. But I do have, I think, 5 seed trays that I can move outside, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm gonna stop talking now.